Do you find yourself working with large groups of data and working with messy Excel manipulations on screen? Like our bivariate regression case, for example. Well, there's a faster, cleaner way of doing that where you can use those same spreadsheet functions but use them in the VBA environment instead. In this quick example, I'll show you how to run a full bivariate linear regression using simple code so that you can scale up your work and do it more efficiently. Let's code smarter, not harder. Now, remember this example we worked on last time? Well, if not, please feel free to go to that video and learn the lesson on OLS and linear regression for a review of the topic. The topic below is more about automating messy spreadsheet manipulations, not OLS per se. So please feel free to review that old lesson. So here's the output that we had from that lesson. And yes, I know that was messy since you had to work on a lot of spreadsheet real estate. And if you had to do this 10 times, then things would have been even 10 times messier. I know this is tedious, error-prone, and hard to scale when working with multiple datasets. With VBA, we can automate everything, input, computation, and output in seconds. Here's how. First, let's rearrange our data so that we have the column of ones in the X matrix as shown previously. Now, let's create a new macro as before by doing a record new macro, then stopping the recording. Now, write code within the sub and end sub as we showed you in our last video. We'll provide the final code in the video description below if you feel just like copy-pasting the code that appears here so that you can focus on working the problem as we go through the discussion. Then let's remember our solution to the ordinary least squares regression B, and the solution is x transpose x. Get the inverse of that, multiply that by x transpose, and then finally multiply that to y. Using this as our solution template, we simply work from left to right, but this time using VBA. As far as naming the new variables are concerned, we are going to use the names that help us remember the solution template. But you can actually use other kind of variable names as long as you don't use names that are restricted by Excel. But the variable names we're using here below work pretty well. Note that we can use Excel spreadsheet functions in VBA by using the Application.WorksheetFunction then the spreadsheet function, as you will see below. Now here's the code, and we have a quick demo that we prepared for you. Now let's run the code, and you should have something like this. From here on, you can always reuse this code and just change the data that you'll assign to X and Y, and it's going to be simple, clean, and efficient. You can even extend this kind of strategy to do your other Excel spreadsheet chores, automating them via VBA, so this should prove helpful to you. So next time you need to do multiple regressions in Excel, skip the messy on-screen worksheet manipulations. Use VBA. It's cleaner, faster, and scales like a dream. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe to help support the channel. See you next time!